What's up YouTube, capital G here, looking at the brand new Gouki field spell that's about to be released in the OCG. This guy is coming out in the Link Frames box. No idea when we're getting this in the TCG, if it's going to be an import in a further set or something different, because we have no idea if we're even going to be getting the Link Frames pack. So this is Gouki Deathmatch. It says when this card is activated, place 3 counters on it. If a Gouki monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, remove 1 counter from this card. At the end of the battle phase, if the last counter was removed from this card by its own effect, you can special summon as many Gouki monsters as possible with different names from your hand and or deck, then place 3 counters on this card. So Deathmatch is interesting, but it's kind of odd because it feels like this card was designed specifically to be played alongside of Gouki the Master Ogre. That's the new one coming out in Flames of Destruction that can attack every single monster your opponent controls, the new Link monster, the Link 4, and that's a really good play. If you have Master Ogre on the field and you also have Deathmatch, if your opponent flips over, I don't know, a Scapegoat, or they already have like 3-4 monsters on the field, then obviously Master Ogre can run over everything, and then during the end of the battle phase, you know, your boy can actually summon like 5 monsters from your deck, and that's pretty damn amazing, especially when you consider that his second effect, which is kind of like Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, that's the effect that requires you to bounce Gouki monsters from your field to your hand to negate the same amount of monsters or the same amount of face-up cards your opponent throws at you or just has on the field in general. Like, that's really good. The problem is, it really feels like unless you have Master Ogre on the field, this card doesn't feel like it does that much. I mean, if your opponent has, you know, 2 monsters or less, you could be looking at a turn where you activate this card, you end up running over 2 of their monsters, and this card for a full turn just does nothing. It just sits there with 1 counter on the field. And let's be real, guys, in 2017 Yu-Gi-Oh, with all these amazing field spells like Diagram and ABC Hanger and Trickstar Late Stage and Spiral Resort, like, you cannot afford to have a field spell that doesn't do something for a full turn. And even if you have 3 monsters on the field and your opponent has 3 monsters on the field, right, where you do activate the effect during the first turn, you would be ending with 5 monsters. But I mean, Gouki with 5 monsters doesn't really feel that scary. It feels like unless you consolidate those monsters into something like Master Ogre, where you do have a little bit of a stun effect, you have a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend that you can bounce that last Gouki to your hand, negate something, or you have like a Firewall bounce or something. It really just feels like, what do 5 Gouki monsters on the field really do? Unless you consolidate them into some type of stun, you can easily just get hit with evenly matched or Regeki or, you know, Kaiju Slumber or whatever, and just end up losing the duel. So this card does feel like it has an insane upside. I just think that it kind of only works with Master Ogre. At least I feel like that's the only card that maximizes this card's potential. In other situations, the fact that it can be, you know, a card that doesn't do anything for multiple turns, that doesn't really sit well with me. Even if your opponent says, fuck it, I'm just gonna leave my field open, I'm gonna let you hit me in the face with a couple of monsters, then you're really not getting anything out of it unless you could just kill your opponent. Like, I don't know, man, this card feels like it is win more unless you have Master Ogre on the field. If you have Master Ogre on the field, it feels like it's pretty bonkers, but outside of that, I feel like you don't even need to run this card. So whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. If there were any other amazing ways to use this, also leave it in the comment section below. I don't claim to be a Gouki expert, but this card just feels a little too linear. It feels like it should have maybe had another second effect that's kind of good in many situations. Like, maybe it could have gave Gouki monsters 500 attack when they're attacking, because then you could kind of use it in all situations. Or if a Gouki monster attacked, your opponent couldn't activate cards and effects during the battle phase. Like, that would have worked with the archetype, and it would have been good in all situations. Something like that. A little more, you know, just something a little more general. So whatever you guys think, again, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.